did selling your car go?
It actually went like super easy. I was kind of pressed for time because I thought the podcast here was going to start at 6:30. So I tried to rush through that whole process, and it was pretty easy. Like I don't know, I didn't tell you, but I got a Mazda 3.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, so I got that, and I had my aunt sign over all of the stuff so I can have the ownership for it and everything. I have to get it safetied yet,
Okay.
but ran over to the lady's house really quick, met her son in that moment, and went, "This is my car, bro. This is it. This is the Fusion." And he's like, "It looks cool, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's got the summer rims on her, and she's looking pretty fancy. They're aftermarket."
Oh,
So I met
gotcha.
him, and I was there for maybe 30 minutes. I ripped the plates off of my car. I grabbed like all the stuff that was just like loosely left in there for a second, and then just went, "All right, Dad, take me home. We're good."
He's yours
I
now,
signed
buddy.
over. I signed over that little piece of paper that says, "Yeah, I sold my car. I sold my car."
Did you also take like the brake pads too and everything? Make sure that you got
Yeah,
everything
yeah, those are
out of
mine.
there.
Those are mine. They can't have
I
those.
took the head gaskets and the spark plugs. They're mine. I owned them.
Yeah. You can't have these tires either. They're kind of nice, so I'm gonna put the car on all blocks right now. You gotta have to find tires somewhere else.
You only sold the
Sorry.
parts you don't like about your car. I sold it because it was blue and the body was a weird
Yeah.
shape. But I took the radio, the seats. I really like the
doesn't have an
headlights, the engine light.
The driver's seat. I liked it being automatic, so I took that out. That's mine. Welcome to the Something Objectively Stupid podcast, everybody.
Like and subscribe. Hit that little bell. Like and
subscribe.
subscribe. I love
There
liking and
you
scribing.
We have no guests today, so we've just got Emmett and we've got Aiden on here, and me. Yes, me.
Our glorious king, Joey Brzezinski.
Our glorious king, our favorite white boy.
My second boyfriend.
Wait, second boyfriend. Who's the first?
I-
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, let's.
We'll
say
talk
this.
about that in the podcast. That's why you got to stick around. Who's Emmett's number one boyfriend?
Holy crap! We're setting up the hook and the bait, guys. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Holy jumping.
Holy jumping.
Holy jumping. That should have been on the tier list. If you haven't seen that episode, go watch it.
Go watch it. We did it.
Anyways.
We did it. Oh my god,
did it.
we've done it. Oh my god, I'm so
we're
proud.
shilling so
We're
much.
officially sellouts. That's it, everybody.
We are
Talking
getting a
about
raid
selling
Shadow
out.
Legends as soon as possible.
Talking about selling out and making $1 bajillion, the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What is going on?
We saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it. I was talking with Jessup at the dinner table tonight because he's going to see it Tuesday, and I just looked at him. I'm like, bro, it ain't it. And he's like, he looked at me back, and he looked really confused, and he's like, I know it's not it. I'm going there to chuck popcorn around and scream. He's like, I'm not watching the movie. I'm like, you know what?
That's
I think
it.
that was my flaw. Like, I went in there because Minecraft's the GOAT game. Everyone's played Minecraft.
Yeah.
I went in there thinking that it was going to be something fantastic and amazing. It's just the literal, like, I can sum it up in first we mine, then we craft. Yeah, that's Minecraft. They said that in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those movies. You could have put any video game
Spoilers, dude. Everyone cares
Spoilers.
about the plot in the Minecraft movie.
I'm gonna spoil the whole damn movie because you're not going. I know people who are going to watch it now aren't watching it for the Minecraft movie. They're there to when Jack Black says chicken jockey, they can pull down their pants and start shaking it. Like that's all they got.
That's if they're over 18, though. No minors doing this.
When I was a kid, I
Only,
yearned
only
for the
crafters.
mines. Only crafters.
Yeah, that's the only way to get into mines. To QB roll over the guy blocking it. And once you're past him, you're fine for life. You just need to get past him.
Which is awesome. But I wanted to kind of segue into our first Minecraft experiences. There's not a lot to talk about the Minecraft movie. It's a movie. It's got its references. Technoblade's there. It's awesome. Super cool
Yes.
movie. But I want to segue into our first experiences with Minecraft. Now, I'll go last, and I want Emmett to go first on his Minecraft experience.
The way you were pointing right there just reminds me of like Usher in We Are the Champions, where he's like pointing to everywhere. Yeah, and he's in the bottom left, and he's in the bottom left. No one told that guy where he was.
Don't tell Anthony. Usher's washed up. Yeah, so I remember the first time I heard about Minecraft. I don't remember the first time I actually played it, but a core memory for me is I was at like a day camp for hockey because my brother was like on a summer hockey team. So I sat with them and I did a practice with them one day, and there was a kid. He was talking about Minecraft is coming to Canada, and I'm like, what is bro talking about? So, he talked to me, challenged about Minecraft, and I'm thinking in my mind, he's like, yeah, it's a game where you have blocks, you can literally build anything, like you could dig up dirt and you put it down, you dig up the stone underneath it, it's like Lego, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I could play with Lego myself. Like, I don't want to play Lego the video game, and all the other, like, Lego games at the time, Lego Star Wars, it's good, but, like, I played that already, I wasn't looking forward to it, I'm like, bro, this is just, like, did Roblox exist in 2012? Because that's
yeah, totally did.
okay. Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, this is just like another Lego game. Boo. I remember playing it. One of the first times I played it was on my Xbox, and I think that's when I was a boy and I turned into a man that day. I think. Yeah, everyone knows the old Xbox, like the tutorial screen. The Xbox version is really shitty going back to it, but everyone knows there's something special about that Minecraft.
It has its charms, right? Like it's kind of withheld the tale of time because that tutorial world is so nostalgic. Like you remember just booting that thing up and walking around in there and looking at everything. So it's the nostalgia factor for it.
It's definitely a lot of nostalgia, which I also found really funny about people complaining about how Minecraft has been updated throughout the years. This is a bit of a different topic, but they're just saying like, oh, this isn't Minecraft, I hate this. The older versions are still available on the client. If you want to play old Minecraft, you totally can. And when you go back, it's not that great.
No.
Compared to what we have now. We are eating good.
Yeah,
it feels more like it's a mod, which is the hard part about it, because they have to balance between adding new additions to our game that make it really cool and interesting and feel like Minecraft, and then not making it too much that it feels like a mod. Some of the things they've added, like pottery, I couldn't give no shits if they have pottery in there. I'm not making pots. I'm sorry. I'm not spending the time farming for it.
I would disagree from like the modded thing. Like I think Minecraft, to me, it doesn't matter what they do. It's Minecraft. Like I could fiddle my wiener all day. I'm still Emmett, right? Like at my core. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I think I agree with Aiden. People complaining about the old versions. I like the new versions of Minecraft. Every new update, I get excited. I'm like, man, the creaking, he's kind of crazy. He's the rideable gas. He's kind of awesome. I got no complaints about that. That looks like awesome additions.
Yeah, I think they're cooking with the recent ones. I think they put something in the stew.
Even the glow squid,
they were cooking.
bro.
Yeah, they were cooking with the glow squid.
No, even the glow squid. I don't care. You could have put in like.
Okay.
You could have put in like my uncle as a mod. I wouldn't or not a mod, a mob. I wouldn't care. Put my uncle in the mob vote. Minecraft is still a fun game. It doesn't really matter what they add to me.
I think also like the clashing opinions of people being like, oh, this is so weird. It's like a mod. And also it clashes with the people like they're not adding enough, because some people say that Minecraft mods are lazy as hell, or like the developers are lazy as hell. Because I mean, like they kind of are.
100%.
Yeah, if you over add content though, it's like you're shipping out. Like think of how many updates League ships out. At least 4 major a year. 4 of them.
Yeah, there's 2 tweaks every single. There's a few tweaks every single 2 weeks. For until they get to Worlds, and then there's like a major update at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
And then like
there's a
acts,
lot of
they're doing like minor. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. So Minecraft tries to keep its amount of updates smaller, but the amount of content in them bigger. So I think they've just figured out the balance of it for like the rideable ghasts and everything like that, and the trial chambers. So I think they're kind of cooking.
Yeah.
I think the future's looking good. But going back to our first experiences, because I really did derail us there. Where's the buzzer? But yeah, my first experience I remember is it was a great place to sink your time, because I was on my iPad, that we have. I know I
Ah.
played it before, but the times I remember most is creative mode on your iPod or iPad or whatever you had, going to school, creating servers. We were like, we're gonna play this every single day, and then you never touched it again.
Nope.
You build like one house, and it's like, yeah, every single time we have an indoor recess, we're gonna play on this world, and then we couldn't get all the people to come back, so we just make a new world.
Yeah.
So it
And
was
it's
just
like, oh,
yeah, it was just a great creative outlet, just to do shit because you could do whatever you wanted. I also remember that we didn't buy Minecraft for the longest time, even though like back then it was like $10.
it was like 30. It was actually
It
$35.
was
I
30.
remember. I
No.
remember it because yeah, it
When it
was like
first came out,
$35.
No,
no,
that's
when
not
it
true,
first
'cause
came
I
out.
got it-
Maybe not when it
But
first
yeah,
came out.
me and my older brother, we begged our mom. We cried and begged for Minecraft. Our username used to be my mom's name, because that's how she set up the
Nice.
account. And yeah, it was not $35. It was not. It was below 30. It was definitely over 20, but it was below 30. I know that.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's all depends when you found it. When I first started playing, like on my computer, very first thing, because my siblings, I have older siblings, they were the ones playing it first. I think like we got one of the like original releases, like one of the early releases.
Yeah.
Like back when, what's a signifying update? Like I think,
The Hunger Bar update was like the when
yeah,
a lot of people
I think
started
I
playing.
saw, I think I saw the Hunger Bar update through it. The issue was we lost our login through some messed up way, so my mom wouldn't buy Minecraft again. So
No.
what I had to do to get my fix is I downloaded the demo, but it was only for
Ooh.
2 hours. Is what you got. So I didn't know that. I started playing. I set up a little base. I was in the middle of watching something cook in the furnace, and then my game's like, "That's your free play." I'm like, "This is fucking bullshit." Deleted the game. And
Yeah.
a week later, I re-downloaded it, being like, "Huh," and I got another 2 hours. For like 6 months, what I did is on the weekends I would delete Minecraft, re-download it, play for 2 hours, delete it, re-download it, and play for
It-
2 hours.
They actually changed that at a certain point because people were doing what you were doing and just kind of half getting the game for free. But that's segueing into my story. So I want to know, are you okay with your story? You happy where it's
Yeah,
sitting, Aiden?
I'm happy with where my beginning is.
Humble
All right.
beginnings.
Now, like a super movie villain, my Minecraft story was incredible. From the moment I had seen the Minecraft trailer on their official website for Minecraft, I was ready to play this game. I seen no content on it. It was just, what's this Minecraft word going around? I search it up. I look at the trailer. I'm mesmerized. My 10-year-old brain needs this game right now. And so, like Aiden, I had to get my fix through free trials. My mother is not spending $35 of her hard earned money, like an hour and a half at the working plant for workers. She's not going to spend 2 hours of labor to buy her little boy at home Minecraft so that he can be a miner. So, I show her the trailer. I try and get her hyped. I try and, like, set the soil, right? And I show her this, and I'm like, Mom, this is so cool. Like, this is revolutionary. We need this. And she's like, "Oh, it says demo right here." So she hits the demo, and so she downloads the demo for us and everything. Problem is, you can only play the demo, like Aiden said, for 2 hours. But they had changed it. You now need an email address first.
Yeah.
No.
You need to make hundreds of different emails if you want to do the same strat that you were doing, right?
Yeah, I remember when that changed happened. I cried a little bit.
I didn't know how to set up new emails at the time. In hindsight, I should have a million different emails, but I didn't. So we played, me and my brother, in shifting turns of an hour, and we just played Minecraft like that a couple times. I remember one of the times was interrupted by dinner halfway through,
Oh,
which was villainous.
yeah.
But I made up an entire presentation to my mother to pitch Minecraft as a good purchase for her. And after a while, I finally cracked that cobblestone block and broke through. My username for the longest time was I love being a mom because it was linked to one of her alternate email addresses. So that was my name for the good longest time. Me and my brother played that. Like, that account is still active to till today, and I think the last login must have been 2 years ago. Like, it's a still used account.
Wow.
Did you migrate it? Did you migrate it?
Yes, we did end up migrating it.
What the heck?
Yeah,
So,
I ended up buying a new account when that happened because we
Did
couldn't find the old login. Like my old login was moopig18. That was the family account kind of thing, right? So,
Yep.
but no one could remember the password, and that was back when like we have our set passwords now, but no one could remember what the old password was because there was no rules back in the day. You could have your password be
Yeah.
whatever you wanted.
it's like a sticky note that you wrote it down on that was crumpled
Yeah,
up and
it's
thrown
gone.
behind you
Yeah,
afterwards.
because it wasn't any of like our passwords now edited slightly because like like you get your password when you're a kid and then it's like, oh, you have to have a sign, so you just put a number sign in front of whatever number you chose. It wasn't any variation of that, and I tried and tried and tried, and then I finally found the piece of paper, but it was too late to migrate it because
Aw.
yeah, we didn't have access to the email account, so I couldn't I couldn't figure out because the email account was different,
Yeah.
so I couldn't figure out how to do it.
That was a big thing. That was like a big thing when I was a kid, was trying to get into emails. Like, I was given access to my mom's
Oh.
email for Minecraft, but even navigating that as like a 10-year-old was terrible for me. I didn't know where I was going. What was your login for your email? I'm not telling you. Why? I want to play Minecraft. No. And all of that, and just trying to get her to go on her phone to figure out a password reset that I just sent to her for email. No, I'm in the middle of dinner. Oh, I need Minecraft right this instant.
your microphone.
If
beeped.
all I got was-
I know.
So I think
I need my now.
I think this was the joy of getting it on the Xbox, and I remember it was the first Xbox game that I purchased myself, Xbox 360. And I remember it was after school in Montessori one day, and my mom had to run like errands at Walmart. There's a Walmart close to my school when in this like conglomeration of like a bunch of stores. I forget what that place is called, where it's just a bunch of stores lined up with a big ass parking lot in the middle. There was
The mall.
No, not
Yeah,
the mall. There's
it's like
there's a name
it's like a
for
shopping
it.
center.
Yeah,
It's like
a shopping center is the
for a
best way to
strip.
describe it. Yeah. So the EB Games, this is how long ago this was. EB Games doesn't exist anymore. I think.
Well, it's GameStop now. They were the same company kind of thing. Right?
I'm trying to look in my wallet because I think I still have the EB Games Platinum Edger card. Hold on a minute, guys.
No way.
Yeah, I had one of
Premium
those too.
Gooner.
And I
got
got
one
it
just
the
for buying
day I
Pokemon
got
cards.
Minecraft because
No way.
yeah, I still have that card if I can find it.
If you have, don't you need to like renew it every single year? That's
yeah,
crazy
you
that
do,
still have
but
the
I hung
original.
on to it because like, what if I wanted to renew it? The Platinum Edger card.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
right.
That's
So it was the
crazy.
first
That
Xbox
is
games I
crazy.
ever purchased, and I just remember I got it, and the whole way home I just stared at the case because in my mind I think I got Minecraft when I was in grade 6 because my older brother was grade 8, and that's when he got his laptop. Yeah, and obviously I'm like, "Wait, can I play Minecraft?" Or, "Mom, can I play Minecraft on the family computer?" Like she's in there right now, and I'm like, "Mom, when are you gonna be done paying bills so I can play Minecraft?" The answer is like never. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend my $40 of Christmas money, and I'm gonna get Minecraft on the Xbox, and nobody can play it. Then I see on the box it says 2-player. I'm like, oh, Minecraft Xbox 2-player, Gah. So I get this. I'm staring at it a whole 30 minutes just on the drive home, just staring at it. Boom. Finally get home. Slap that disc in. I call Wyatt down. I'm like, Wyatt, look what I got. We're getting playing Minecraft. We boot it up. We get ready for the 2-player. Nothing happened. Didn't work. Didn't work. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? So we try and we try. We finally decide to ask our friend who lives down the street. Because this is, again, we're young, and this is before we knew we could Google everything. So we call him up, and he's like, yeah, I got Minecraft on the Xbox. We got 2-player working. You need a special HDMI port coming from the Xbox to the computer to handle split
Really?
screen. Yes. To handle
yes.
split screen Minecraft because it renders 2 things at once. And the HDMI cord we had at the time was not powerful enough. And I
That's
told
really
my
funny.
parents this, and they said, "Where do we get one?" And I don't know how to use Google yet, so I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So we never played Minecraft 2-player at our house ever. It was
I
back.
didn't know you need a special cord because I played Minecraft 2-player before at my cousin's house. This is like
Yeah.
a vivid memory for me, where it's just me, my brother, my cousins, each around similar ages to us, and then every like 10 minutes a timer went off and
Yeah.
we'd swap controllers over.
That's how it was
So-
done with the single player Xbox. But it's not a special cord, like that's a bad way to describe it. It's just a newer HDMI cord, I think. There's nothing special about it other than it's a little bit stronger. Like HDMI cords today, we've kind of like, you know what I mean? They can transfer data faster. That's all it is. That was the only difference, and I didn't know.
Oh, dude, technology was such a pain way back when, especially when
my
you don't think
God.
that you can search something on Google that you don't know it has all the information right there.
I'm weirded
It's
out.
such a pain.
Because I knew I could, but I didn't know like how Google worked. Like, what do I look up to find that? Like, what a special Xbox HDMI cord for my... Actually, that would have been a perfect one.
That
But-
probably would have been
at the time,
in hindsight.
I'm fucking 11 years old. The latest thing I looked up on Google was probably like
Big boobs.
that's a possibility. No, not in grade 6. No, not in grade 6. A couple of years after, definitely. But yeah, not in grade
Couple
6.
minutes after grade 6. but,
After
you
I
know.
put in Minecraft, I was like, yeah, big boobs.
Jenny
Oh,
Mod,
You
Jenny
went
Mod.
Jenny Mod.
I can't believe
I actually have a funny story. Not with Jenny Mod, but I've got a funny
What is
story.
this transition?
No, it's not transition. It's still on the technology side of things. Technology was a pain, right? And after the Minecraft phase, this is a little bit off, but after the Minecraft phase, I went on to Plants vs. Zombies, and I played the hell out of that. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare came out, right? And I was super stoked for it. I was super excited, and I'm like, this is awesome. This is my super hyper fixation. I buy it. I buy it with my money, my Christmas money or what have you. And it says, you can't download this. And I go, why? Not enough storage on this little old laptop for you here.
No.
I'm not deleting Minecraft. And with Minecraft installed, I should have had enough. I delete like everything off of this fucking computer. Nothing needs to be on this desktop. See ya. And so I delete everything. I still can't download it. I'm like, why? And so I get fed up with this and everything. My mom takes it to her computer technician friend, which is just some person that she knew, and he fixes it up a little bit.
I've
does a
heard
little-
this story.
does a little tweaking.
I love
Yeah,
this
it
story.
is crazy.
I'm on the edge of my seat, dude.
So he does a little tweaking to the computer. It's back. Oh, I don't know if I'm lagging. Oh, there we go.
You're right.
He clicks on his little on the computer and he does this little hacker stuff, and he brings it back to us. He charges my mom and he goes, yeah, I couldn't get Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare on there. You're gonna need a better graphics card for it, and this one you can't change it out because it's a laptop, so you would need a newer laptop. And I'm defeated. I'm like, I'm on the ground, on my knees, holding my head. I'm like, no, this is terrible news. And he's like, don't worry, buddy. I got you the next best thing. And so I'm back up. I'm like, okay, what did you get me? He has changed all the system sounds on this computer to Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare sounds. Like, when I type stuff, he changed it all. When I click onto applications, he's changed it so it's a sound. He's changed the background on it to... He's changed the background of the computer onto it. Just perpetuating
Now-
my loss of not being able to play the game.
It's like, hey, buddy, do you miss your dad? Well, here's photos and photos.
So-
every time you click a mouse button, you hear a voice recording saying, I love you.
This is the funniest part is that this story isn't exaggerated. I've seen this laptop. I've heard this laptop. I've used this laptop. It is real. Again, you play on it's a pea shooter sounds. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it has a custom boot up sound too.
Yes.
For when you hit the power button and it boots up to the main screen, it's a custom Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare sound.
It's
And
the
it makes
effort.
it so much worse.
Why did he do that?
I probably have a YouTube video because I used to make old YouTube
Yes.
videos. I probably have an old one that has that as a background in the
need a-
video.
I've seen it. We've
Yeah,
been through this.
if we can
yeah.
find that, check the comments. It's gonna be pinned. Check the comments. That's gonna be pinned. But that also reminds me of my Garden Warfare story, because it was my first experience in letdown as well.
Hey.
So what it was is I'm in elementary school. I'm not the most popular guy, you know. I'm kind of, walking around trying to make friends with someone, and then this guy comes up that I'm, kind of okay with, kind of, like nothing really major's happened, but we're not friends, I'd say, right? So he comes up to me and says, "Hey, have you heard of Garden Warfare 2?" I'm like, What's that?" And he's like, it's like Plants vs Zombies. It's a shooter game. It's so awesome." And he's just talking and on and on and on about how awesome it is. And I'm like, he wants to talk to me about something. I need to start doing something with this. So I that night I immediately go to my parents and beg to get Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. And I beg and I beg and I beg and I beg. And we go to the mall that weekend. And then we walk into the store. And the game just came out. So it's like an $80 game at this time. Or
Yeah.
it was full price basically. And my dad,
70.
yes, 70 somewhere around there. My dad looks at me and says, "Are you sure you want this, buddy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Didn't even think. Second blink, nothing. I get the game. I go back home. I boot it up. No problems booting it up or anything like that because it's on the Xbox. I fully download it, and I'm like, "Oh, you need internet connection to play." So I had to get Xbox Live as well.
Yeah.
So I get Xbox Live. I get that all going. I get Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 going, and I tell him the next day at school, like, "Oh yeah, dude, I finally got the game." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I kind of stopped playing that."
There's
Bruh.
no way.
Well, at least
Yeah,
you got Plants
it's-
vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. You
Yeah.
don't need friends if you have that.
That it
Yeah,
is
so
a heater game.
I started playing it, and I got through like maybe 5 hours, and I realized I don't like shooter games.
Oh my goodness.
So I take it back. I put it in my coat pocket. The next time we go to the mall, I sneak away for a second. Say I got to go to the washroom. I sneak away for a second and go to EB Games, so that way I can return it and get my money back. And I walk in, and I say to the guy behind the desk, "I'd like to return this game, please." He's like, "Oh, it's opened. I can't return it. I'm sorry." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I have the receipt." And they're like, "Yeah, we can't really exchange it for you unless it was defective." I'm like, "Okay. How much can I get for trade-in value?" And he said, "You can get $15."
Yeah, that's always the answer.
Bro.
And I was like, "What? We got it for 90." He's like, "They're selling for 30 right now." It's what he
No,
said.
they're
to me.
not. No, they're not.
No, he showed me a price tag. I'm not sure how long it took me to actually bring it back, but it took me a little bit to bring it back. And by that time, the price was slashed.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't a
I got it
great
like,
game off launch.
yeah, it really wasn't. So they're trying to get anyone in that they could. So and he was like, "No, we can't do that." And then I said to him, like, "So why can't I return it?" He's like, "It needs to be sealed." I'm like, "Okay, this one's defective. Can I get a sealed one, please?" And he's like, "Why do you want a sealed one? So I can return it?" Like, "Yeah, no, I'm not giving you a sealed one."
Bro.
Bruh.
And
That's
so I
fair.
acted defeated, put it back into my coat pocket of shame, zipped it
Yep.
up, and walked and tried to find my parents again after. And my dad asked me, like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's fine, it's fine." Because in his mind, I went to the washroom a little nervous, and I came back with a frown on my face.
Bro was disappointed with what he saw at the urinal.
The
That's all it
poop of
was.
despair. Like, what the heck?
Yeah,
No
I think
way.
they did find out eventually, because like it was a bit later where they're like, "Aiden, where's your new game?" And it was still in my coat pocket, and they're like, "Why is it in there?" And I'm like,
I took it to school. I had to play it at school.
Yeah, literally. And they weren't buying it, so they could tell I didn't like it.
I don't think I
Have you
had.
guys ever had?
Oh no, sorry, Joey.
Go
What are you
ahead.
saying?
I was gonna say, have you guys ever had instances of taking games to school and it going wrong?
Mainly card games, like toys and card games.
Yeah, me
Not
too.
to
Cards were
school.
stolen.
Yeah, not to school. Cards for me were really like Pokemon cards. Those were
Yeah.
respected. They were held high, except for one greedy bastard in my elementary school, and I hate him forever for it.
Mhm.
Blur his name up, but fucking was
No
the
way.
worst.
Actually, yeah, way.
Yes.
Why am I saying no way? I
Yeah.
totally believe that.
Yeah.
What am I talking
He
about?
was the demon spawn. 'Cause what he did to me is he would watch videos at home about like things that aren't actually rare but seem rare, and then he would scam them off to me so that he could get my rare cards. He's like, "Look at this Vulpix, dude. It's number is before the HP. When in every other card, it's HP and then the number. This thing's a misprint. It's super rare. I'm like, oh my god, have my EX cards, have my full arts. Give me the super rare card. And then I watched that video a week later. I'm like, that motherfucker.
I think you can't hate. Don't hate the player. Hate the game, bro.
I am
got you.
hating the player.
He sold you a dirty sock.
Look, fool me once,
and you were mad about it.
shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on him. Okay. He was a year older.
Yeah, but what
than
happens when he fools you like 10 times? Like what happens?
Shame on
all 10 EXs.
Yeah.
Shame on his mom at that point.
I have a terrible Pokemon story. When I turned 10 years old, it was my 10-year-old birthday, and we were going to a beach somewhere. And we, on the way home, or on the way to the beach, it started raining. So we're like, oh, well, we have to go home. We stopped at a variety store. In this variety store, collector's tin of the original 101 original release Pokemon going for $50. And as a kid, Pokemon were big in 5th grade. So I'm like, that's my birthday present. And they're like, I don't know. Like, parents are skeptical of Pokemon cards. I'm like, no, I want that. I did. They ended up getting it for me. I opened it up. I did not know the value of those cards. And I know I had a Charizard in there. I had everything. The worst part is there's only a few cards left. There's like a shiny Poliwrath, like a nice Poliwrath. Jessica, my little brother collects now. Jessica collects now. And he's got a binder going. But there was an Arcanine, like a shiny Poliwrath, and I think like a Alakazam. There's only like 3 or 4 cards left of that original 100.
That's like, is that the base? Tin. First set? Or
I think it was 3rd generation. It was like the first. It was like the first. It wasn't the first ever original release, but it was like the first year it came out. The 3rd version of Pokemon cards.
Okay.
I had a similar experience. I had a very similar experience with that for buying Pokemon cards on the way home from a trip or something. We ended up buying it. I think we were at the States. I think we went to Florida or something. And so we come back just before the border. We buy like this little Pokemon tin. Half of I don't think any of the cards were English. I think they were all Japanese cards in there.
Oh my god.
And I was disappointed.
But the Japanese cards are worth so much more.
I gifted it as a birthday gift because I ended up opening this guy's birthday gift, which was Lego.
Gifted.
Oh, I've done that too. I remember we were getting like birthday gifts ready, and it was near Christmas. And I'm like, oh sweet, a gift. So the place we used to hide birthday presents where like babies couldn't get them was up in my clothes, like in my closet, up hidden in the clothes because there's the only high shelf space that wasn't publicly available to people. I see a present in my room above my clothes. So I'm like, okay. I open that up and I'm like, oh, this is sweet. It's like a baby tractor toy. I'm like, heck yeah. I think I was like 6 or 7 years old. And my mom's like, hey, that was for your cousin. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I guess they're like, okay, well, you either wrap that back up or you give something of your own. I'm like, okay, I'm keeping the shiny new toy. Why wouldn't I?
It's necessary.
Hey, Emmett, real quick, the thing I put in general, was that the Poliwrath?
Taking a look. Let's see what we got. Yes, sir. That's it. I can go take a picture of it downstairs.
Want to guess how much that's worth?
PSA 10, I'm sure. I don't know. Probably like $600.
Yeah, exactly that. Actually, it's worth $600. You just have that, so
Yeah,
that's
but that's PSA 10, right? That card that we have is no longer in good condition.
PSA 3.
So yeah,
Okay,
it's
what about the
unsellable.
Charizard, dude?
I don't have the Charizard. It's
you
gone.
had a winning lottery ticket and you lost it. That's what happened.
I'm not the only kid this has happened to. It's happened to a lot of kids.
That's why
they're so rare. Joey's right. Is that everyone has had one and then it disappeared.
They're pretty tasty. You can eat them.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
You hold them in your hand and compare it to You compare them to your friends and be like, oh, I don't want to mix these up, so I'll bend the corner on mine to make sure I know which one's mine.
Oh, that's villainous. I wouldn't even fucking do that in my dreams.
What we did, I remember we would go home and make. Our printer didn't have color, but we'd go home and we'd go on a website where we could make our own Pokemon cards.
I did the same shit.
Yeah, we'd staple them.
I used to do that.
Yeah, and we'd be like, "This is real. This is real, and you should trade me for it." And it had like superpower moves like Mega Ultimate Nutbuster, 6,000 damage for 1 energy. Like, yeah, this is my Charmander. I pulled this yesterday. Like, you should trade me for this.
Yeah,
The font's always wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put a lot of effort into mine actually because I was like, I'm gonna be smart about it. Like, this is not just regular paper. So what I did is I was scheming. I printed off the front. I printed off a bunch of back sides, cut them all out meticulously with like the little paper cutter thingy that we had where you'd slice down.
Ooh.
Yeah, I cut them all out. I started in Gen 3, so I got a Blaziken, because it was like the popular one. So I copied the front of it, and then I put a piece of cardboard, thin cardboard, in between it, put glue all over it, and I used a straightener to heat it up to make it stick really well, and it looked like ass.
All that professional work for it to look
Yeah.
like shit.
That was my first attempt at forgery, and I failed. And it probably, like, that was a life altering moment where if that worked for me, I probably would be like forging Benjamin Franklin's right now. Honestly.
What?
That's true. You wouldn't be on the pod.
What other childhood games did we play? Like, what were like more
Bakugan.
big ones? Bakugan was a big one. I
Bakugan.
still got a few of those lying around my house somewhere. I
No
loved
idea how to play
Bakugan.
the game, but they
No.
look so cool.
I loved.
No, I had a couple.
Yeah, I had a lamp in my basement that was made out of like steel, and I just be like tink tink all day. It was like the Bakugan lamp. Like, that's all I did.
You ever have it where they don't open properly because you've used them so many times, so you
Yes.
just fuck them at a wall to hope they open?
Mine stopped working because like I'd like put them in my mouth and I was like and see if they'd open. I'd bite really hard, and then if they
That's
didn't,
why they say 3 years old, 3 years or older. Right
yeah,
there,
that,
'cause of
I
you.
think I was like again 10. Like I put shit in my mouth. I guess I don't know.
Oh, do you guys ever have Mighty Beans?
What?
No.
I had
What?
Bok
Mighty
Choy
Beans?
Boys. Are they similar to Bok Choy Boys?
A what?
A Bok Choy
Similar.
Boy?
There's also these guys. I don't remember their name, but I have them on my desk. But they're these little guys.
Those
You
are
used to
Bok Choy
push on the
Boys.
back-
Those are Bok Choy Boys.
No, they're not. They're not called Bok Choy Boys. They're called something different. I know they're called something different. But you push on the back of them. They have this little edge here. You put your finger here.
You're
You
edging
put them down, and you'd flick them. You'd set all your guys up in a line. You'd flick them, and you'd try and hope for hitting the other guy's stuff. Some were better than the others.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did that with Bok Choy Boys, but instead of squeezing them, we'd flick them. Like, the game was you line them up, and like there's positions you're allowed to do based off like the symbol of the bat. Like the game, that was for some reason Bok Choy Boys, which were only available at the Palisade. Okay, so the reason that it got big is because the Palisade we went to, it was owned by a kid who went to our school. His dad owned it. So once a year we had like the Palisade school night where everyone could bowl for like $5 and go to the arcade for like $5. And at the arcade, they had Bok Choy Boys and everyone was buying them. And the next day we went to school. I'll put a picture of them up in general. Never learned how to play Pokemon, never learned how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, never learned how to play Bakugan or Beyblades, but I played Bok Choy Boys.
Oh, Beyblades were so
Beyblade.
big, and that they were popular when you still went to my school.
Yeah, Beyblades
I
were
re-
awesome.
Because I remember your older brother losing his shit one day about like, because people used to play for keeps.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
our
crazy.
school was devious like that.
Yeah, it was so weird how a bunch of like kids games were play for keeps. Like the original one that everyone thinks about, if you're old as dirt and was born in the '90s, was Pogs. If you guys know anything about that, the little metal
marbles.
discs, the little like plastic or metal discs. And what would you do with them is like you'd slam them on the ground. I kind of forget how it works.
Like
But basically,
Squid
it was
Games.
just random chance. It was gambling, is what it was.
I think that's like Beyblades.
We need more
Beyblades
kids to
is-
gamble.
Beyblades is like gambling. Like I every
It really was.
Yeah.
But it was so more expensive.
I remember the day I
Dude.
bought my first Beyblade. Again, it was one of those few toys that I bought myself, and I got like this green one that was just it. Beyblades were so cool as a kid because they were hunks of steel, and
They
you
were
get,
metal.
Like,
They
you
were.
get a little like a wrench. You could take them
Yeah.
apart and be like, I think I want this part for my Beyblade, and you put that one in. You start mixing and matching, and because we played for keeps. My older brother did collect a few, and I did have extra parts. I never played, but I did make awesome Beyblades and played by myself in the basement because I didn't want
Yeah,
to lose
I might
them.
have. I might have put one in the microwave.
Yo,
No
my
way.
brother put my mom's phone in the microwave.
Why?
Yeah. So back
It was
in
cool.
early internet, I heard a way to win more would be to heat the rubber tip on
Oh.
your Beyblade, because it'd make it harder, so it'd be better. I forget the science behind it, but basically this guy was like, put it in the microwave, and it'll go dummy. I'm like, okay, yeah, sounds good. I think it make it like less pointy, so it'd be more stable. So that way, it'd be more, like you could take your attack one and make it into a defense one, which would be better because it would just make it so that the lightning fast motherfucker would stay in the middle and hit the other ones out. It was supposedly really good. So what I did is I'm like, awesome, you can take them apart. I didn't. I was too lazy. So I put the whole bitch in. It had a
Oh
metal
my
ring
God.
on it.
Oh my god. It's made
Yeah,
of
they're metal.
steel. Yeah, it's made of
Yeah.
steel.
I put it in. It said to put it in for like 10 seconds. I got so lucky.
Oh my god.
Nothing bad happened. Our microwave worked for many years after this moment. Nothing burnt
Nice.
on fire. But what did go wrong is I was like, all right, I gotta test this out, and I used the Beyblade immediately, and I fucked up the tip
Oh, 'cause
forever.
it was melting.
Yeah,
No.
Oh my god.
and it was unusable after, and that was my only Beyblade.
Yeah.
How are you gonna?
I
I
have
would
one.
not get another one.
I had
I
one
couldn't. I
Beyblade.
wasn't allowed Beyblades after that.
I bought one Beyblade, but I ended up
Really?
collecting many over the course of my older brother's tyranny.
I had a story about a singular Beyblade, and his name was Portal. I named my Beyblade.
Yeah.
Portal never stopped winning. I would have, if I was playing for keeps, I would have had so many Beyblades. Portal was crazy. Full metal, one of the originals, so it's like not breaking apart in any form. Tightened that bitch to the most I could, ripped it every time. Didn't matter how many Beyblades my stepbrothers had. Didn't matter how many additions and different things they could do to it. Portal won. You wouldn't lose. They didn't like playing with me. But
Stand ready for my arrival.
Do you remember what Beyblade it like looked like? I'm gonna see if I can find it.
no, it was a custom amalgamation of a few parts, and it just stayed like that. But I ended up buying a Beyblade later because I ended up losing Portal. They notoriously go missing for some reason. And so I lost Portal. My mom ended up buying me another Beyblade. This is great. The new generation came out. They're entirely plastic and worthless to me. Entirely worthless. What do you mean I'm gonna cut myself on metal and maybe get a chunk taken out of my head? I don't care. I want to win in this Beyblade battle.
I always thought it was teeth. I thought that Beyblades like destroyed kids' teeth. They'd clink. You know, kids would get right down in that stupid bowl.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah. At school, Aiden, we used to play in the dirt. We had like a dirt pit.
Yeah.
That we dug out. We're like, oh yeah, the dirt.
Yeah.
The plastic bins.
They got
with,
banned so fast.
They really did.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they the kids would get right down close to it, and then they'd clink off each other and just go straight into some poor soul's mouth. Like
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah, I remember when the Switch happened as well, because I was like come back to something kid, where I'm like 2 years later, I'm like, that shit was awesome. I want it again. So I asked for Christmas one time, and I was coming back to it after Metal Fusion. That was the brand of it, and then I skipped the completely plastic version, and then I went straight into the reboot, which was Beyblade Wheels. So what it wasn't a spinning top anymore. It was a fucking wheel. And the whole premise of the show was who could do the cooler tricks at a skate park. So it's basically Beyblade's equivalent to skateboarding.
2012.
I remember.
It
that.
was ass. It was so
Yeah, it
bad because
wasn't
I'm like
cool.
spinning battle tops, and then I looked down at Christmas, and it was just like a little ramp and the Beyblades. I could like rip the cord and it rolled to it and jump the ramp, and that was it.
Yeah.
Damn,
Lame.
I didn't even know this existed. Just Bay Wheel? What is
Yeah,
Bay
Bay
Wheel?
Wheel.
October 6th, 2012 is when it ended. It ran for 3 months. The show itself
Yeah.
ran for 3 months. The brand
Yeah.
itself ran for 4. That's
Yep.
terrible.
And I was in that unlucky few because it probably was just my parents being like, "Hey, this is cheap. This is Beyblade." What I mean, Santa was probably like,
Santa. What else did we have?
Speaking of peak shows for lasting maybe 3 months, Slug Terra.
Slugterra! I
Slug
love
Terra
Slugterra.
was goated.
lasting 3 months. There was a movie. It was
Yeah,
4
it
Yeah, there was
lasted
a
a
movie.
long
I
time.
didn't. Slug Terra. I had no
4
idea
seasons
how
in a
long
movie.
it lasted, but it was goated.
It lasted
goated.
not long enough, but the premise of the show is so
Oh, it
cool. I'd never had Disney
Slugterra
XD.
got robbed.
Yeah, I never had Disney XD. I could only watch it at friends' houses and grandparents' houses. But every time I was there, I was like, secretly, when everyone's not in the room, I'm like, okay, let's record the next upcoming episodes of Slugterra. So next time I'm over, I can watch them. That's how good the show was. Everybody's poor DVR or VCR was recording Slugterra. Aiden, yours might have been recording Slugterra. Go check. I'm not kidding.
You know, I actually will have to check out
I would go check. I think I did it to
They had a
everyone.
we
shitty
cleaned
Flash
our-
game.
But in a family of 7, we cleaned our DVR religiously,
Yeah.
and I did it once it got yelled at.
Because you cleaned
So
it?
I deleted Titanic,
Oh,
and they're like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Cause we have the recording right there on VHS," and they're like, "This is different."
Why is it different?
This is the first.
I don't
Actually,
know.
they are
don't-
different. They are different slightly sometimes. When they release things on box version, they actually kind of re-edit over it sometimes, and they
Yeah,
might
you are
remove
correct.
scenes.
But the reason why they were mad at me was because it was easier to play it on the PVR,
Yeah.
not because of anything.
How
slight
often
difference
are
like
they watching Titanic where it needs to be recorded on the DVD?
Dude,
Often
dude.
enough.
that. I know. I was pissed because they were getting mad at me, but it was just because they didn't like what I was recording. I think I was recording like Pokemon or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to watch it.
Peak. Same thing as Titanic.
Basically the same.
Yeah.
I was recording Bay
Going-
Wheels.
But
Slugterra?
Slugterra was awesome.
It had a shitty Flash game. I remember playing the
Oh,
shitty Flash game. You were
yeah.
able to switch between slugs, and then you were supposed to like aim your blaster of wherever you're supposed to shoot them. You'd fire them off and do a bit of parkour. I don't want to say it's a shitty Flash game. It was actually kind of decent. I played a decent amount of it.
I never touched it. I got
Yeah,
into
you
the
would.
show
Slugterra got,
right as
like,
it was ending.
murdered.
Like, yeah, I got into the show in the final season, and when the hype of the movie was like getting out, I'm like, oh man, I love Slugterra, and then I never watched the movie because I couldn't.
Yeah, that's
the
what
thing.
happened.
Yeah. The thing was, it was. I think the reason why it failed is because it was impossible to sell a good toy for it. Because the whole premise was like, oh, these little slugs you fire from your blasters and they transform. Transforming not possible. You can't do that shit. And then 2, you had to have a blaster that would then fire these marketable little guys. So you were just so restricted in what you could actually do because they needed to fire from the blaster, but they also needed to look character realistic. I remember I saw someone fire one once. It went like 5 feet, and that was it.
Wait,
if
they
I'm a
made
kid-
toys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they made toys.
obviously.
There was a line of
No
toys.
way.
All
It
it, all
was-
it
yeah.
like is Nerf X Bakugan. Really?
Yeah, but it was impossible to make anything good because how are you supposed to
Holy
fire
crap.
something that looks character realistic, right? So,
Dog,
like,
these are real.
that's why
Yeah.
it failed. It's because they couldn't make a good toy out of it.
Oh,
It's very unfortunate. Slugterra was like they had some really good people behind that show.
And the
it's
original
a
premise, I
shame.
think, was goaded. It was corrupted Pokemon,
Oh, yeah.
is what it was,
yeah.
because they did it first. Like, they're like, oh, we're gonna make these slugs evil, but they're more powerful. But this one slug, the fire slug that got handed down by his father, is the fucking goat and can do
He's the
whatever
nice
he
one.
wants. And then when they introduced firing 2 slugs at the same
That
time,
was crazy. And yeah, you could fuse their powers.
Mm.
Oh wow.
I think if it came out today, with the games and stuff you could make, I think it'd be so much more popular. If they just re-released episode 1 today, it would have a whole new following.
Gotta admit though, like the
Oh, yeah.
art style is so good too. Like if I like any teenage, like any pre-pubescent child looking at Slugterra would probably, again, I'll say the same bit, would probably turn into a man that day. Like it's peak. It's peak.
Yeah, Slugterra was awesome, and it's just such a shame because it was also at that weird time where they just switched over to Disney XD, and people were like, "We don't need Disney XD. We have Disney."
Nothing survives on Disney XD. It's where creativity goes to die and shows turn into ashes. It is literally a running joke. Any show that gets shafted to Disney XD is destined to fail.
Oh, but Phineas and Ferb was on Disney XD for a little bit.
It was on Disney Channel originally though. Its original seasons were
Right.
on Disney Channel.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's such a shame. But you know, we were talking about Minecraft at the start of this.
We kind of transferred out
Yeah.
to like childhood video games real quick, and then we went to childhood
I'm fine
outdoor
with that.
games. Now we're on childhood TV.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. What other
I'm fine with
good?
it.
We got some like a couple more minutes here. What other good childhood TV shows? Do you guys remember Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures?
I do.
That's
I actually
yeah.
rewatched it when it came out on Netflix.
Really?
That's the first time I watched it. So that was one of the first. I got Netflix when that Pac-Man came to Netflix, and I was at like this big stake in my life. I think I was like 12, and I was like, man, I need to be more independent. So I would take the family room TV and I would demand to watch my show at my designated time, which was Pac-Man: The Ghostly Adventures at 7 o'clock. I'd be like, this is what I'm watching. I don't care if you're watching your show. This is my show when it's on at 7. It wasn't on at 7. It was on Netflix. But I needed to watch it. It wasn't a good show either. I don't think I enjoyed it.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that great.
I religiously watched it because it was
Yeah.
my show at my time.
Yeah. That's like the same thing with Slugterra. Like it's not like the show's premise was cool, but like trying to watch it as an adult, it's a nothing burger for an adult. For a kid, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But like there's no meaningful arcs or anything. It'd be like watching Pokemon again, except for it wasn't that funny either because it's just fart jokes.
It's like watching bare naked animals. That had
Yeah.
nothing to it.
Huh?
Do you know bare naked animals, Emmett?
Is there some
Or
Australian
almost
show?
naked animals. They're called almost naked animals.
And they ran the
Yes.
hotel, the Banana Cabana.
No.
I
That's
hated
it,
that
buddy.
fucking show.
I didn't like it either. I hated it.
What other?
What-
There was also come on, I can think about it. Spliced. Spliced was another really bad
that's-
one. I hated.
They'll
Spliced.
be spliced.
Yeah, hated
Oh, yeah.
Spliced. Hated.
Hold up. Total Drama Island.
Classic. That's a heater. That's a
Heater or not?
Heater.
It's a heater.
That's a
It's
heater. I'd go
Okay,
back.
thank
Kiara and I
God.
rewatched them like recent. I wouldn't say Kiara and I. Kiara
Thank
rewatched
God.
them and I tuned in for episodes. But yeah,
I should rewatch it too.
They're
They're
good. They're good. Big fan of it.
All right. Little side thing. Light Yagami. How far in Total Drama Island do you think he's making? Do you think he's winning it? With
I-
no
Bro makes it
definite, no
maybe
definite.
past the first episode because everybody's like, this guy. I don't like how he's not talking to me.
No, I think because like you gotta remember before Light got the Death Note, he was like popular. He was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
popular kid.
I
So I
think
think he'd be fine for talking.
he's
Like he might speak Japanese, like assuming he speaks the same language.
the moment they
He
have to
probably
do any physical challenge, like climb the big toxic weight snow mountain fighting evil wildebeest to collect ice cream for Chef. I think that's where he gets knocked out of the competition. I don't
no,
think
'cause
he's
he was
winning.
also he was also goated at physical activities too. He was a great tennis player. He matched L, who was also fucking a Secret Service agent, dude. He was fine physically.
L is not physically fine. You
No,
just
but like they were
compare-
really good at tennis.
I don't think he's winning that. I'm sorry. If he doesn't have
I think he's outlasting Courtney at the very least, and she made it pretty far.
I don't think
Courtney
he's
was
outlasting
basically what L
Courtney.
wanted to be. Really?
ladies, you're both pretty. Wayside.
Wayside.
Oh,
I
Peter,
hated it as a
Peter.
kid, but now that I'm
No
older, I
way.
really appreciate it because it's so
You
funny.
hated it.
Well, because it
Principal
took
Kid
up my
Swatter.
Pokemon and Johnny Test time. Right? Like I'd be
true.
like, oh fuck, Wayside is on next. Like Johnny Test is on in an hour. I gotta watch two
Yeah.
episodes of Wayside.
It's
What
like
was that
B-roll.
one guy? What was that one kid's name who was like the obnoxious villain dude, but he just wanted to be like Milo or
It
something?
was Milo.
Yeah,
Principal
Milo.
Kid Swatter,
Fuck
favorite.
that kid.
Water. Why fuck Milo? He had a lettuce baby brother.
So obnoxious.
His little brother was lettuce, and he wilted away
Look.
and died. That was so sad.
He was so obnoxious, and like the one episode I remember the most was them playing tag, and whoever had tag had like superpower rules.
Yeah.
And I just compared him to one kid from my school, and I'm like, yeah, if this existed, this kid would be like him, and I hate that kid. So I hate Milo.
Phil made up a false story in his head about an assumption about someone and go, yeah, that's I hate him now.
That and the only other episode I remember really well was that the janitor dude, who I forget his name,
Yeah.
but basically it was like, you didn't pass this, so you have to redo the test. So the entire time he's training for it, and then it got revealed that his test was actually switched with Principal Kid Swatter. And at the very end, he couldn't do it, and all the kids were like cheering that he couldn't do it because they love their janitor.
There's a few good episodes. Like I remember one where who was it? It was Mauricia, the girl skater person, the rollerblader. She gets put in like the special the gifted class, and it's with the chef. Anything with the chef girl, with the rat in her,
Oh,
the dead
yeah.
rat. That is so,
That was so
funny.
funny.
Oh man.
But
Bring
also,
up a
like,
nice
she was
memory.
right. She deserves to be in the special class because she was wearing rollerblades in a school that was sideways.
It was not
There's so many
sideways.
stairs.
It wasn't
That's
sideways. It was vertical. It was like a
That's sorry.
straight
That's what I meant.
vertical tower.
If assuming this is normal, I would say this is sideways, right?
Sure,
It
sure.
was
I thought you were just
wayside,
painting sideways.
so-
Like
It was
way-
wayside.
Yeah, it was the wayside.
And
Holy
she
shit.
was on the top floor, so wearing rollerblades in a school with no elevator, where you had to climb the stairs every single day to the 31st floor, you belong to be in a special class.
Yeah, that's true. She's talented. She gifted.
Not what I meant like that. I meant
Oh,
I don't understand.
I think we give 10 gifted to wayside.
I think we have 10. What's
Uh,
another classic show?
that's like 5 big booms.
I think
right there.
this is good for the pod. Like I think
guess,
we're
yeah,
pretty
we're at
good
the
on
time.
ideas. We're pretty. This was a good episode. I
Can we
enjoyed our
not end
time.
on me being her mental bin?
No,
we not do
I
that?
think that's a great way to end. Well, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We hope
Yeah.
to see you on the next one. Make sure you hit that subscribe,
Like
that
and
like
subscribe.
button. Anything else, gentlemen?
Comment your favorite kid TV show, or something that you enjoyed. Any toys, if you remembered any of them, let us know. If you know what the worth of any of Emmett's cards were, make sure you let him know
Yeah.
that he's an idiot.
All right. Bye, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for watching.
Pregnant man
Jazz-
emoji. Pregnant man emoji.
What?
Pregnant man
No.
emoji.